Hello everyone, my name is YiWen. Today we are going to talk about the 冬至 in Chinese, and it's also called winter solstice in Western ideas. And our contents will be the 冬至 and solstice, and since the 冬至 is the 22nd solar term, it marks the winter solstice, and we're going to talk about solar terms a little bit, and then we're going to talk about the customs and activities of 冬至 in Chinese and Taiwanese customs, and then most importantly, the food is 汤圆. As we talk about making 汤圆, and on the other hand, we have another very similar food. It's called 元宵. Okay, so we'll discuss the difference between the two foods, and then at the end, 冬至 is also a day for winter tonic foods. So we will end up with tonic foods. Okay. As we see, 冬至 is literally the winter's extreme in Chinese, and it is the 32nd solar term and marks the winter solstice. It is when the sun reaches the celestial. In ancient China, 冬至 was originally celebrated as an end of harvest festival. It also was taken as the New Year, the beginning of the New Year. But gradually we changed it to the so-called Spring Festival. Now it's like about 30 days later now. Today, it is observed with a family reunion over the long night when pink and white 汤圆 are eaten in sweet broth to symbolize family unity and prosperity. Okay, so this is the most important kind of food and symbolize the day. On the other hand, in Western tradition, this is a day called winter solstice, which is an astronomical phenomenon marking the shortest day and the longest night of the year. Okay, it usually is the 22nd or 23rd of December. Okay. The winter solstice itself lasts only a moment in time, so other terms are used for the day on which it occurs, such as midwinter or the shortest day. The term for the winter solstice directly signifies the summit of winter, and again, it's called midwinter in English. Worldwide, interpretation of the event has varied across cultures, but many have held a recognition of rebirth because it's changed from the longest night, shortest day, and the night becomes shorter, the day becomes longer. So it involving holidays, festivals, gatherings, rituals, or other celebrations around that time. Okay, but mostly it's in Eastern Asia that celebrates this day the most. Okay, so secondly, let's talk about the solstice first. Okay, we can see from here the sun's ray, because of the rotation axis of the Earth, is not directly north-south. Okay, it's like a 23.5 degree inclined to the other side. So as the Earth is moving, the sun will reach different places on Earth. Okay, so as we can see, this is the equator, and because of the rotation, it changed. So the Arctic Circle, the Antarctic Circle. Okay, so here we can see the Tropic of Capricorn, the Tropic of Cancer are the two places that sun's ray show directly. So let's have a sketch for this. So the Tropic of Cancer, which is the northern hemisphere, and Tropic of Capricorn, which is the southern hemisphere. Okay, so the sun, when the sun's rays shine directly to the Tropic of Cancer, this is we call the summer solstice. Okay, on the other hand, as we had just seen, when the sun's rays go directly to the Tropic of Capricorn, it is the winter solstice. Okay. So let's talk about the solar terms a little bit. The traditional East Asian calendars divide a year into 24 solar terms. Each solar term has its own name. Okay, as we can see here, maybe we just need to know briefly. Okay, this is the summer solstice, which is the 5th month. Okay, the 5th month in calendar. Okay, on the other hand, the winter solstice, which is the December. Okay, and for the 24 solar terms, each has its name. We can see from here. Okay. Usually, we begin a year with vernal equinox, and then insects waken. It's very briefly mentioned the most important event at the time, like spring showers means a lot of rain during the spring, and spring commences. Severe cold, it's very cold. Moderate cold, winter solstice. It's getting into the winter. Okay. Heavy snow, light snow, winter commences. Okay. It's away. The 24 solar terms start with usually the spring commences. Okay, it's the beginning of the year, the beginning of the spring, and then spring showers. Often at this day, we have a lot of rain, and which will result in a good harvest in the future. Then insects waken, they wake up. The earth goes back into life. And this is actually maybe around the 22nd, 23rd of March, which in Western custom, that means the beginning of the winter. Okay, then bright and clear, the corn rain, the summer commences, and then it's all the way goes to summer solstice, which is the mid-year. That is usually the 21st, 22nd of June, and then all the way back into winter, which is the sun goes directly, the sun's ray go directly to different places, to the different latitude of the Earth. And on the other hand, we can also consider these solar terms with zodiac constellations. Okay, here is the graph showing that. You can have a look on those. And this is another way of saying that here we have marked the March 21st, the June 20th, the December 22nd. Okay, you can take a look at these on your own. Next, we'll talk about the customs and activities on this day. In the past, the Chinese emperors worshipped gods and ancestors on this day since Zhou dynasty, which was like 1,000 years before the Christian. Okay. The Zhou dynasty lasts 800 years. Okay. Since then, so which was like 3,000 years ago, because the longest night, which symbolizes the spirits of ghosts, is turning to daytime, showing lively prosperity. Chinese people often offer memorial services to their ancestors with tangyuan, along with some foods on this day. So, in Taiwan, there's an interesting tradition that says this is the birthday of cattle. All cattle shall have the day off to celebrate their birthday. Actually, this is a symbol. This is showing our appreciation to cattle which works for us all year long. Again, because of the short day and long night, people don't usually travel on this day. In modern time, the most popular activities are making and eating tangyuan and enjoying tonic foods to keep warm, because this is the mid-winter. About tangyuan, the Oxford English Dictionary has 元宵, not tangyuan. Okay. In Pinyin, it will pronounce it 元宵. It's different kind of spelling. Or we can say it as sweet rice flour dumpling. We call it dumpling because it has fillings inside. Okay. Then we will talk about making tangyuan. Tangyuan is made from glutinous rice flour. You can prepare glutinous rice flour in a bowl and slowly add hot water, or some people actually use cold water until they mix into dough. Then you can pinch off the dough and roll them into small balls. Okay. 冬至 is literally winter's extreme in Chinese, and it's the 22nd solar term and marks the winter solstice. It often refers in particular to the day when the sun is exactly at the celestial longitude of 2070 degrees. 元宵 is a name for a festival and also a food. This festival is originated from traditional Chinese custom, which says lunar January 15th is the birthday of the heaven god, July 15th is the birthday of the earth god, and October 15th is the birthday of the water god. And people celebrate more the January 15th, the birthday of the heaven god. Okay, next we'll talk about making yuan xiao. As we did in the earlier time, we say making tangyuan, which is putting the filling into a dough of flour. And making yuan xiao is a little bit different because we have the filling, the water, the flour, rice flour, and then we put the filling into the flour and coat the filling with the flour. And then we'll do it again and coating the second time, the third time, depends. And then we'll have the rice ball. Okay. And commercially, of course, they make it differently. They use bigger size sieve, and they make it in large quantity. Okay. They have different kinds. And here are yuan xiao. Remember earlier we talked about making tangyuan. It's making in different ways. Okay. It is always in traditional China the latest day of the Chinese New Year, the last day. It is most often called the Lantern Festival. After this day and all the celebrations, life goes back to normal, and everybody has to head back for his or her work. So everybody take the chance to enjoy the last vacation day. Okay, it's the end of the Spring Festival. On the night of the Lantern Festival, people carry specially designed lanterns on the streets to enjoy street performances. And they eat a bowl of yuan xiao, or at some places, tangyuan, symbolizes the unity and unification of the family, because after this day, everybody will head back for work. Okay, here are some photos of different kinds of lantern. And also, in recent years, more and more places do firework on this night. Okay, so the next we'll show you a few videos doing making yuan xiao in different ways. Okay, next we'll show you how to do a yuan xiao in your home. Okay. First, we have to prepare some fillings. Here we have the sesame seeds, grounded sesame seeds, and rice flour. Okay. A sieve. First, we put the fillings into the flour and shake it a little bit for the flour to stick to the fillings. And then we use a sieve, put the fillings into the sieve and dip it into water, a bowl of water. Make it wet, shake a little bit, and then we put the fillings back into the flour, and for it to stick more flours onto it. And we can repeat the steps a few more times, usually 3 to 4 layers of flours. Okay. When it sticks together, remember to set it loose and let it be covered with flours. We do this 3, 4 times, usually 4 times, and then we can put it into a plate. Now you can see one of them has a groove. It's leaking, so we can use a little bit of water to fix it, and then put it into the flour again to cover it up. Now it's fixed. Okay. Now we put the yuanxiao into a bowl of boiling water to cook it. Okay. When you cook it, after a while, it will float. So let it float for maybe 1 minute. It is done. Okay. Now you can see it's floating. Then you can put into a bowl. Sometimes some people use some different things into the water to make it a better taste. Then the next one will show you how the yuanxiao is commercially done. Here we come to the side of a department store. A commercial maker is making yuanxiao here. And we can see them because they are commercially done. They sieve the flour first to make it more smooth, and you can see they use a lot of fillings together, and they use a big bamboo made sieve to get it run and take turns, because it is exhausting. It's very tiresome. And during the stage, be careful not to let them stick together, and they add more flours onto them, and then do it again and again. And here we can see they have many different kinds of fillings, different tastes. So a lot of people will come to buy from them. They have many different varieties for different customers. Okay. Here you can see they use different color to mark different fillings and different tastes.